And so let's take a look at our teams. First up, the defending champs, Kelvin Grove 4. They have a new top laner, Aaeons this time. We actually haven't seen him play, so I'm excited to see what he brings to the team. Boosted Garbage in the jungle, raDiEnt in the mid lane, NUBBYBUB on AD carry, and in the bot lane, Trust in Sponkle.
Trust in Sponkle. It's your boy, Sponkle. Of course, KG4, yeah, seen them all across the map. raDiEnt in the mid lane, he's got one of the strongest players. No, raDiEnt. We don't support that here. Oh. No, raDiEnt, I think he's going to be really the key carry here for KG4 today. Usually you'd expect AS7, their top lane. I mean, it could be a name change, so it could be the same player. I can't actually remember, to be honest. But up in the top side, that's usually where they have their strength. But raDiEnt has popped up as well. He's got a really great Ekko, a really great Katarina, and a really good Xayah. So those three champions are the key ones for him. And having a look at their opponents on the red side, we've already seen them today. But Maroochydore High School taking them on. League of Yorick up in the top side. Snoopy in the jungle. BobbyShmurdaVEVO in the mid lane. And Boofycrackers, AD carry. And then LOL XD Kappa 69 back again. Boy, Boofycrackers, sorry. Didn't play the first game, but no, you didn't. It was a different AD carry. It was AB Skills.
That's right, it was AB Skills. You are correct. Boofycrackers is back, though, and he is a strong AD carry.
Yeah, he's a really good AD carry. Really good Xayah.
Yeah, and he was one of the carries for the team throughout the season when we saw them earlier in the year.
Yeah, him and Bobby.
So definitely a lot of skill on the side of Maroochydore, which makes you think they can possibly take on these defending champs, especially with a possible weakness now on that top lane. As you can see, we are loading into Champion Select now, and straight away, Zoe banned out, so BobbyShmurda won't be on his main.
I mean, BobbyShmurda, obviously, Plat 3, I think he is. It's his one trick, 165 games, probably more now. Last time I checked his OPG, probably like 170 games on Zoe this season. The clear one trick, and instantly banning the Camille away from Flare LG.
It should be worth noting if you're taking a look on the screen, we are seeing a bit of a visual bug. It is not a repeat performance from our last team. Kelvin Grove 4 actually is still what we mentioned for Aaeons, Boosted Garbage, raDiEnt, NUBBYBUB, and Sponkle. So those names are a bit incorrect, and we apologize for that. However, the bans, they are legit, and we're seeing a lot of jungle focus all of a sudden. Both Olaf and Kane taken away.
Yeah, I mean, Kane is Snoopy. He played that in the first game as well. So getting these two players off what they found comfortable, and Olaf is one of Boosted Garbage's main champions. I think that was one of the core have-to bans against KG4. Both their top laner AS7 and Boosted Garbage are really good on this champion. And Siva, final ban away, one of the priority AD carries. Interesting to see what NUBBYBUB. I think Xayah's going to have a lot more priority in this draft. I expect even KG4 to first pick it here on the blue side if it doesn't go through ban, which it hasn't. Because NUBBYBUB played Xayah and, of course, Xayah, of course, is the main two champions. But Xayah is actually banned from competitive play due to a bug with her feather pull-through. But, okay, never mind. I'm wrong. It's locked in.
Yeah, well, banned in competitive play, but
apparently not here.
Yeah, apparently not at the Ekka. I suppose this is what happens when the tournament parameters have changed. This is kind of more of an exhibition match as opposed to a proper series tournament match. I'm just going to get confirmation from our head ref, though, to make sure this is still all good. Jet? He's giving me the thumbs up. Right, so Xayah is going to be locked in, so we will be seeing that in this one. The response from Maroochydore is an actual Heimerdinger locked in. So this is very unconventional.
I mean, this is a great pick, actually, because you can flex it between 3 different roles. Right? You can obviously play it in the bot lane and AD carry. Mid lane is probably Heimerdinger's worst role. And then top lane, really good poke control of the lane with those turrets. I would have to say, though, Xayah Rakan is probably the strongest duo lane in the game. And given the fact they've actually picked up the Xayah, picking up the Rakan would be a great counter. And Snoopy picking up Rammus to maybe throw something back at this Xayah. But one of those cast AD carries doesn't have the biggest impact in the Rammus, but blocks a Yasuo coming out in the mid lane here for raDiEnt.
Yeah, definitely, I think, an intelligent pickup, considering the type of champions that KG4 likes to play. However, it does leave up the lovers duo in that bot lane. Xayah Rakan, within the lore of League of Legends, are a couple.
Yes.
And as a result, in the game, they synergize very well. So when both of these champions are locked in on the same team, they get additional buffs that they would not get if they are one or the other. So that being enabled for Kelvin Grove 4 is definitely an advantage. I'm curious if they're going to start to build a team around these two. You're nodding your head yes, as that Ekko will get locked in for raDiEnt.
Yeah, look, some of those hovers are a little bit maybe suboptimal, I think. But yeah, the Ekko finally locked in here. One of raDiEnt's best champions, especially into the Heimerdinger, is actually a really good matchup as well if they choose to flex it to the mid lane. Surprisingly, you're able to get those turrets down very quickly with your autos, and also when there's no minions in lane, it's able to jump around. But interesting to see the Ahri picked up here by BobbyShmurda. Ekko's like one of the hard counters to Ahri, since his ultimate pretty much disables your entire burst combo, and especially gets him out of range. And when he goes in, he has a lot more potential onto the Ahri, and because Ekko has so much movement speed, the Ahri can't actually get away, even with her Spirit Rush.
That is true, but when you're working with a Rammus, who might be maximizing his taunt first, there will be enough chain CC between the charm and the taunt in order to potentially burst this Ekko down. I like what they're trying to set up. It requires a lot of teamwork and a lot of synergy, but it is very executable. So, Maroochydore definitely throwing down the gauntlet, saying we are going to outplay you. It should also be worth noting, though, with that Ahri locked in, it kind of narrows down where we're going to be seeing this Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
Potentially, we could be seeing it in top lane.
Yeah, I definitely think it looks like it is going to go up into the top side, but I think Aaeons here, I think there's a lot of picks actually into the Heimerdinger top at the moment you can actually take. I do think Heimerdinger's best role is AD carry, but obviously we'll have to wait and see exactly where it goes. Turns out Abskill's 5 is actually playing,
It's still Boofycrackers.
Is it still Boofycrackers? I don't know, I'm confused. Anyways, overlay. Not
a bit of an overlay bug. I mean, we're definitely not seeing, soup time and very still memes.
We're definitely not seeing. We were having our boy Sponkle. Interesting they banned out Yasuo, though, given the fact that Ahri, I guess maybe not wanting to face up against the Yasuo Alistair bot lane. I hate that they picked Rammus here because, not going to lie, when I play Yasuo, I love seeing Xayah Rakan locked in because I go, damn, those two with a Gragas, I start licking my lips and I go to Yasuo carry comp, baby. But unfortunately, we'll not be seeing that comp today. As Braum locked in here, so hiding that AD carry pick, obviously looking to flex that Heimerdinger until the very last second on the red side for Maroochydore.
Yeah, it's very interesting that you bring up that Gragas as well, because Kelvin Grove 4, we're taunting picking it, and now it is open and available, so we could see it locked in, although without the Yasuo, I find that highly doubtable. Instead, it's going to be Aaeons on that Darius, something that, we've seen really take over a lot of these games in the past, or seeing something do absolutely nothing and sometimes lose the game for teams in the past.
Yeah.
He has become a very feast or famine type champion within this league, and I'm excited to see what Aaeons, the new player on Kelvin Grove 4, can do with it. In response as well, the Sejuani has been locked in. That's someone who synergizes fantastically with both the Ekko and the Darius. I love this lock-in. Yeah. And as a whole, Kelvin Grove 4, very strong team.
I mean, I just like they've got a good team fight here with the Sejuani and the Xayah Rakan. Ekko's okay in the team fights, but definitely functions better in a side lane. But I feel like the Darius overall is just probably not the best top laner you could have opted for to get a nice cohesive comp. I think something like the Aatrox would have been much better there, especially blind as well. I mean, obviously with Fiora still being up, Fiora is the hardest counter to Aatrox in the game, and League of Yorick being able to play that champion means obviously you can't lock in the Yasuo. But something like an Aurelia could have been really strong as well, synergize as well with Sejuani. Sure, Rammus counters it a little bit, but once you scale in the Aurelia, the Rammus doesn't actually affect you too badly. Something like a Renekton could have been nice as well. You just wanted something that added a bit of CC and a little bit of priority in that side lane as well. And I don't think Darius' team fighting synergizes enough with the rest of his team, which is obviously what they've got a very good team fight comp. Obviously, Sejuani, Xayah, Rakan are through the best team fighting champions in the game, especially with those synergies. They work together as well. Just getting a nice top laner that is able to stack up the Sejuani passive. I think Kled actually. Kled would have been a fantastic pick. I think that's probably the most ultimate. But Kled is one of those champions that not a lot of people know how to play or have really too much experience with him, so maybe not one of those champions you're likely to see.
I still can't get over the fact how sparkly your face is.
See, I can't see it at all.
I'm really sad it's not coming across the camera. I probably sound like a crazy person right now, but it is.
It is too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it totally is. Your face is just like glitter, out of the corner of my eyes, just like this shining beacon of replays that I'm going to have to put up with throughout this game. So thank you for that. As if, the live crowd wasn't distraction enough. Going through the day, we've had the bagpipes, we had the violin, and now we have Sparkle like Twilight Boy next to me.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
On to the Rift.
On to the Rift with our main event, the defending champions, Kelvin Grove, taking on Maroochydore High School, one of the most improved teams in the league. It's definitely going to be our most contested match, that is for sure, and we are underway.
I would like to say I'm very happy to see both teams with support items.
Yes.
This greatly increases my happiness.
Yeah, after what we saw last game, definitely,
yes. No boot starts, which is nice.
Yeah, no.
The only champion a boot start is acceptable on is Katarina.
Okay.
In versus a Xerath. That's the only time it's acceptable.
I see that. Although I'm still not entirely happy with what Maroochydore is doing right now, particularly on the top side of the map. Like the death bush that you see on camera, this is perfectly fine. They're trying to get an ambush in case Kelvin Grove pushes too far forward. But in doing so, they have left their top jungle completely exposed. League of Yorick did not opt to play defensively. Instead, actually pushed forward, scouted out the enemy tower, and then went and hit back behind his own. Fortunately for Maroochydore, they weren't punished for this. Kelvin Grove opting not to attempt any sort of invade whatsoever. Yeah. And as a result, we're going to be looking at probably our most conventional start of the day.
Which is nice to see. Nice little dance move there as well by the... I don't know, Heimerdinger even had a spinny dance, but there you go. Yeah. You never know. I love the skin choice as well, the big brain, the alien Heimerdinger. Well, Invader Heimerdinger.
Well, we are on the tournament realm, so all of the skins and all of the champions are available to all of these players, and it's really cool to see like where everyone's going with them when they're given like these options.
Except Blitzcrank, because it's comp rules.
Oh, I did not know. Well, yeah,
well, I mean, all those skins that give you slight advantages, like I mean, apparently it is enabled, but it shouldn't be. The green Papercraft Nivea.
Yes.
Chroma, because all of her abilities literally blend into the map and you can't see them.
But you also told me Xayah was comp rolled, and yet here we see
NUBBYBUB. But I feel like I think when these comp rolled, it just means you can't pick them, not like it's actually disabled on Tournament Realm.
True.
I don't know. That could be.
Could be the case. That said, though, with the conventional jungle starts, you can take a look at the map. As actually BobbyShmurdaVEVO in a bit of trouble already. raDiEnt getting a lot of damage down onto this Ahri up top as well. League of Yorick has that level 2 advantage. Is trying to solo out Aaeons before much can get going. Aaeons does have flash available. Should be fine. But with the ignite, that will be first blood going to Maroochydore. Meanwhile, in mid lane as well, BobbyShmurdaVEVO is ignited, but stays alive. And with Snoopy coming forward, it forces raDiEnt to step towards his opponent. Sidestepping the engage, staying alive. He's on the run towards the river. Now trying to turn around. Snoopy's in trouble because Gruesome Garbage down below, but he's able to find the kill and get away Maroochydore to a quick 2-0 start.
That's a great start for Maroochydore in this game, getting those 2 early kills. You can see the advantage of the Ekko in that matchup against the Ahri, able to get on top of it very quickly. Obviously, Ahri opting for TP as well, so very passive lane, and I do like the Glacial Augment out of her as well. You know, it's probably the best Ahri build, and one of the reasons why she's S tier in solo queue at the moment. Just offers so much utility and survivability throughout the lane, so one of those champions you can kind of pick into anything. One of the best blind picks at the moment with that build, and it really helps play around your team. I mean, I don't know if the Maroochydore comp is actually synergistic enough to really take down KG4. I feel like, I mean, obviously if they get big enough leads like they are now, like 1,000 gold ahead already, 2 kills, a solo kill up on the top side, that's the advantage of having that ignite versus the TP of the Darius. But, you know, I think they haven't got those big key synergies, right? Like, there's nothing that really helps stack up that Born passive a little bit faster. I feel like this Heimerdinger is a little bit unsynergistic. I mean, good siege, though, as well. I think it's probably what they're going to go for here with League of Yorick and a split push. I think that's definitely going to be their win condition, which is a little bit harder to pull off and a little bit harder to execute. But obviously, this is our premier matchup of the day.
Yes.
Our KG4, obviously the defending champions, and Maroochydore, a quarter-finalist. So 2 of the top 8 teams in the Queensland High School League. So both these teams quite adequate. And both good players on both sides, so potentially can see these stronger win conditions that you can see in Division 2.
Yeah, but Aaeons somehow actually got to level 4 before League of Yorick. It doesn't matter, he's losing this trade against the Vampiric Scepter. League of Yorick trying to get a second solo kill early into this match, and this Fiora definitely doing a great job in punishing the Darius lock-in.
Yeah, I mean, as you see the weakness of Darius, just no gap closer, and also he traded into Fiora's minion wave as well there. I mean, did have a level up because Fiora has no TP, has that ignite instead, but overall...
Oh, raDiEnt actually goes in, and at a bad time, the taunt comes through. This is that chain CC we were talking. BobbyShmurdaVEVO finds a kill in the mid lane, and Maroochydore taking it to the defending champs.
That was a great gank by Snoopy there. Waited until the Ekko used his E before he even revealed himself. Very smart playing safe there around the cooldowns and waiting for him to use exactly what he needs to use. Very smart gank out of Snoopy, and I'm very impressed with this Rammus early on in this game.
Yes, as am I. As League of Yorick, speaking of, you know, playing it safe, he's doing the exact opposite, kind of flirting with that engage from Aaeons. Flash available as down bots in Sponkle we trust. Goes in, they find the root, but they're not going to follow up with more damage. No summoners actually expelled by Maroochydore, so good job on the side of Boofycrackers and Lol Kappa in not blowing summoners prematurely, something that we saw plague some of the teams early in the day. Very, very smart play from Maroochydore throughout.
I mean, I think I'd like to comment on is also, I mean, you see these active plays out of Maroochydore, obviously 4 kills up already, 1.5k gold due to their jungler, right? Snoopy getting around to these lanes, but the thing is,
Boofycrackers gets quite low. Meanwhile, BobbyShmurda is very low, stunned under tower, but a timely arrival of Snoopy is turning things around. Yes, it's 1-for-1, but raDiEnt is so low. Unfortunately for Maroochydore, they can't pursue, so Kelvin Grove gets 1 on the board, but really, I feel that's advantageous to the red side.
I mean, and what I was going to say, actually, was the Rammus is obviously a champion that functions. Oh, he's another gank.
Yeah, he's still trying to do it. raDiEnt, though, is able to dodge through the minions. Down below, though, a huge knockup from Sponkle, and the Ignite is dropped. Heal used to keep Boofycrackers alive. In mid lane, Snoopy actually has the damage turned around. raDiEnt finding a huge solo kill right there, has now hit level 6.
Yeah, it's got that ultimate there on the Ekko. I don't think he used it, however, as it's not on cooldown, but could also just be spectator bug. I'm pretty sure he had more health when we came back to him of the pan from the bot lane. But Boofycrackers barely staying alive there. But as I was trying to say, Sejuani is a champion who doesn't really gank until 6. So the agency in the jungle is definitely in favor of Snoopy and this Rammus. Right, he's able to get out early on and do a little more. As the Braum getting very low, but the shield does actually block those Xayah feathers that come through. So you're not getting that pullback damage, which is what's so lethal, or the little bug is with Xayah at the moment, see them backing together. But yeah, no. So Sejuani, if he wants to farm to 6 and then use that Glacial Prism to start activating these ganks, so the Rammus doesn't actually need his ultimate to really function. He mostly uses the Taunt and the Powerball. That's what his 2 big abilities, or 2 big gank tools are, right?
Yeah.
So obviously being able to chill out a little bit more, get a little more proactive early on. But now that Sejuani's 6, you're going to start seeing her come in and try helping her lanes. Hopefully it's not too little too late. Maroochydore only 1,000 gold ahead CS leads. Kind of balancing that out a little bit down on this bot side towards NUBBYBUB. And I think, I mean, NUBBYBUB has been one of the key carries we've seen. Well, not maybe key carries on paper, but you've definitely seen him come out in these games in this bot lane. He's been very good as a Grand Challenge drop top lane.
Yeah, Grand Challenge being thrown out from League of Yorick. That is his ultimate, which tells me he wants that all in. Flash for flash is used, but he misses the proc at the last possible moment. So Aaeons will survive, eating both summoners out of this Fiora. In the end, I guess that's good for KG4, but being 2 levels down, it's still a tough game for Aaeons. In mid lane, though, raDiEnt gets a key stun, has a lot of damage. BobbyShmurda able to escape. Action down bot as well. Sponkle possibly cut out of position. However, thanks to help from their lover, you have extended range on that shield. He's able to jump away. Needs to be careful, though, Snoopy coming through the bush, but there is a ward. So KG4 smartly predicting this, have vision on Snoopy. You can see that blue trinket right next to Snoopy. That does mean KG4 has vision on him, and as a result, the Rammus will back away.
The wave is also pushing in there as well, so Rammus would not have really been able to get anything done there. I would like to say, though, you see this in the middle in the match. Another game.
Another big knockup. Boofycrackers, though, is taunted from the ultimate out of Sponkle, and you have boosted garbage here. Crackers on the run, gets hit with the Glacial Prison and will go down. A huge pickup for KG4, but Snoopy is here on the counter gauge. Too little, too late, as both kills were secured by boosted garbage, and poor Snoopy is on his own, trying to get one back. Back in mid lane as well, BobbyShmurda also falls. Finally, Snoopy as well. Kills across the map for KG4, and they tie this game back up.
Yeah, KG4 6 for 6 in kills, but a shutdown going over to Maroochydore on raDiEnt. Oh no, sorry, the other way around. raDiEnt getting a shutdown onto the on BobbyShmurda. So overall, KG4 now back in this game. See Sejuani hitting level 6, coming for a gank. You know, using that Glacial Prism to great effectiveness and also not going down, despite being on a sliver of health. NUBBYBUB obviously no heal either, but plates now going over to Kelvin Grove 4 means this lead in the bot lane is going to balloon. Already, what, 12 CS up, plus another wave as well. NUBBYBUB in a great position to start carrying his team and balance out this topside loss that this Darius is.
Yeah, even though the kill score is even at this stage, it should be worth noting Kelvin Grove 4 do have the gold lead. Really, it's only League of Yorick that's kind of keeping Maroochydore in this early game as he drops yet another Grand Challenge. Aaeons in a bit of trouble. He's trying to hug the wall so that the procs can't be made. Is doing a great job for it. The guillotine comes through, and it's a solo kill for Aaeons right as the Ocean Dragon gets secured as well. And this great start from Maroochydore is slipping through their grasp.
Yeah, League of Yorick are unfortunately not able to get that last vital proc on the Darius and actually loses the 1v1 despite being a level up and having an Ignite advantage. Didn't actually have Ignite up, so it didn't matter. But still, that Vampiric Scepter doing work, but Darius getting those stacks up, getting that extra damage and going down using the guillotine to finish off that kill. So unfortunately, Maroochydore now falling quite far behind. I mean, you see the mid lane though, raDiEnt doing very well into this matchup, just constantly going for these burst trades and chunking. Snoopy moving.
Yeah, Snoopy's going to try something. Throws down the taunt, but he did not connect with the roll, which could be a bit of a trouble. Earthquake coming through, and Aaeons might not be able to escape. There's no flash available, so Snoopy does take one back for Maroochydore. A little too late to save his top laner, but at least it's something.
Yeah, at least it's something getting back 1 and 3 on this Darius. I mean, being forced out of lane once again. The biggest thing League of Yorick has is still has a huge EXP lead and gold lead over this Darius. And the later this game goes, the stronger League of Yorick is going to get on this Fiora. The Fiora hard outscales, so I think this game, although it looks like Kelvin Grove are kind of coming back in their 4-man squad of the Sejuani, Ekko, Xayah and Rakan are definitely stronger than their counterparts. This Fiora in a silent is the win condition, right? You need just this one person ahead, and they can come through and carry the game. We saw this in Worlds, if you remember.
This is a bad situation for League of Yorick. He kind of got Win a bit too deep. The teleport came through, and he will be brought down. An easy gank. Down bot, though, a nice stun from Boofycrackers. It does force Sponkle to go in sort of as an aggressive disengage.
Yeah, Sponkle, trust in Sponkle, making sure, getting a lot of poke down there onto the Braum. Sorry, on the side of Maroochydore, but you know, as I was saying, yeah, the key win condition is this. Obviously,
oh my gosh, Sponkle has just been on point with this Rakan, but NUBBYBUB got caught out with the stun. Featherstorm's turning things around. A huge kill for NUBBYBUB, forces the defensive flash out of LOL XD Kappa, but bot lane definitely going hugely in favor of KG4.
Yeah, NUBBYBUB here on the Xayah is one of the key carries, but I think trust in Sponkle is the theme of this bot lane. Getting great knockups and constant CC down in the mid lane again. Nothing too a bit of CS, but
raDiEnt's actually going in quite aggressively as soon as that charm missed, but a premature ignite is not going to find the kill. Snoopy looking bot lane for something, not going to find too much either, so Maroochydore, they're still trying to make plays happen, specifically Snoopy. He seems to be everywhere on this map, fighting desperately to keep his team in it, but wherever Snoopy isn't, seems to be going bad for Maroochydore. League of Yorick, again, looking for this one-on-one outplay. Once again, dropping this grand challenge. Maybe the third time will be a charm. Aaeons on the run, but here goes Boosted Garbage. What a clutch Graceful Prison to turn it around. Heartbreak for the red side.
Man, League of Yorick must be so tilted right now. Every time he goes to this grand challenge, you just can't. If he was able to get those procs, he'd be winning these 1v1s massively. And now he's almost on even footing again with Aaeons, despite getting such an early lead. Caught up in levels now, caught up in CS and gold as well. And now items should be coming through. And unfortunately, for Maroochydore, that's like their one key win condition. I mean, you're saying Snoopy's around the map at the right space, but he needs to keep focusing towards his top side. He needs to get this Fiora ahead because that's how they're going to win. They're not going to win through this Boofycrackers and LOL XD69 lane. They're not going to win through having Ahri fed because Ahri's, you know, opting for the Glacial Boom means she's going for that more supportive, I'm going to build Hextech GLP and help you chase and catch down. It's about that Fiora that you really need to get ahead. And so Snoopy, sure, he's in the right place at the right time and he's doing great. And I think he's currently the best performing member of Maroochydore. He's still not doing exactly what he needs to do as a jungler. He needs to be prioritizing that top lane and really needs to get League of Yorick ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that is one option. The other lane, which I could look at for Maroochydore to start bringing it back, would be BobbyShmurda in that mid lane on this Ahri. If they can enable an Ahri roam, start getting a couple picks perhaps on the bot side or the top side, that could be another out. But the way how things are going for Maroochydore, this game is going to be a slow, painful death. Hopefully, Kelvin Grove, you know, they can continue to keep this aggression on and maybe keep Maroochydore off kilter, especially if you're a fan of the defending champ. Another all-in attempt from raDiEnt. He walks straight into a charm. BobbyShmurda thinking about the all-in re-engage. Junglers roaming towards the mid as well. Boosted Garbage will get there first, but he will get spotted by Snoopy. Meanwhile, up top, League of Yorick again trying to poke down Aaeons. But yeah, Snoopy got found and is in a lot of trouble. He'll actually go down for the counter engage. That is a big loss for Maroochydore.
Yeah, Snoopy did not know that Boosted Garbage was hiding it. Oh, okay, never get the chime out. So the Maroochydore does actually get off. Luckily, not CC'd in that channel time, because if you do get CC'd during that channel,
another grand challenge onto Aaeons, trying to hit those vital points. One more to go. Can he get it? Doesn't look like he is able to. Meanwhile, another Glacial Prison connecting. BobbyShmurda under tower forces the defensive flash. Down bot, a huge root on the low cap, and the follow-up crowd control is there. Another kill picked up for Kelvin Grove as the Featherstorm comes out, just missing Boofycrackers. Doesn't matter though, because in the mid lane, BobbyShmurda finds the solo kill onto raDiEnt.
There is action all across the map in this Titan match. The key matchup of the day, and it's just fighting everywhere. Transition to every single lane, there's fights going in, there's trades, there's kills almost going down. Looks like League of Yorick didn't actually able to get that trade up on the top side down, and goes back to lane, and now he's really feeling the effects of having this Ignite versus the Teleport. I mean, obviously that late game scaling champion, obviously Ignite, let him cheese out an early kill or two, but I still think getting that teleport on the top laner means you're just so much more relevant and helps you scale so much better into this later game.
A thing I also like, though, out of Maroochydore as well at this stage is some of that itemization. And so I'm going to hold that thought because Boofycrackers stepped forward on his own. An easy pickup for Sponkle right there. You're a Heimerdinger, Boofy. You can't be doing that.
No, you can't. Burns the flash as well, so that's another defensive summon. It looks like First Blood Tower.
Oh, Kappa making a similar mistake, stepping forward in a 1v3. Braum is a lot beefier, though. Might be able to walk away from this one. Still one more stun pickup down. And you hate to see that. Ultimate blown by LOL XD at the very end there. He was safe.
Basal Fisher, maybe the fear of the Permafrost?
Permafrost,
yeah, coming through from the Sejuani, but looks like League of Yorick's actually going to get the first tower back here for Maroochydore. So tower in the mid lane and bot lane god down for a KG4, but Maroochydore picking up that top lane tower, so something in compensation for them. And looks like Ahri as well finishing that GLP up.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, a bit of tit for tat in that regards in terms of playing the map. Give up bot lane, that's okay. We'll take top lane. Really, when it comes to map control, the big difference does come from this mid lane where you have seen already raDiEnt being able to take out BobbyShmurda's tower and possibly BobbyShmurda himself as well. Getting rid of that ultimate from this Ahri is a big pull for raDiEnt. That's a lot of the mobility gone from this mid lane champion. So that does mean BobbyShmurda has to back, going to almost force a reset out of him. And I'm liking the pressure raDiEnt is putting on this mid lane.
Yeah, most definitely. The other thing I would like to point out, and I really hope this is not the case, but I'm pretty sure the Sejuani, unfortunately Sejuani has built Warmog's armor. Which if you don't know is an item that gives you plus 800 health, and after 5 seconds pretty much just puts you back to full HP. However, it only activates after you have 3,000 health.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of damage coming from Boofycrackers right there onto Aaeons.
But I believe that boosted garbage level 10 on Sejuani only has, unfortunately, 2,500 health. So we'll not be getting benefit out of that Warmog's passive. I know I've done that many times before, building Warmog second and realizing they nerfed it so the minimum health requirement is higher. And then you go, well then, I've spent a lot of money on an item that's useless.
It's not useless, it's future investments.
Future investments, of course.
You're spending a lot of money on a future investment because all you need is a couple more health items, and then lo and behold, that Warmog does find its use. I think, he's getting close to it.
Usually it's level 13 on Sejuani.
He's getting close to it as, here comes a bit of a fight. Glacial Prison comes down, but up above, raDiEnt has been caught out. Is able to jump over the wall, but that's where LOL XD and Boofycrackers are. raDiEnt running towards the enemy base, hoping to escape as boosted garbage going for that re-engage on League of Yorick. Not going to find much, even with Aaeons there. BobbyShmurda almost got jumped on by Sponkles, and NUBBYBUB has to fall back. And there is the big grab onto Boofycrackers. The Glacial Fissure comes through, but it's not enough to make the save. And this is the fight KG4 wants. Snoopy is their next target. They're throwing so much damage down is on the backside. League of Yorick tried to stay alive before falling himself. He did get the challenge through, but it's not in time to save himself. A big double kill for NUBBYBUB, looking for that triple. Won't find BobbyShmurda. It doesn't matter. It's a 4-for-1 in favor of Kelvin Grove.
And that's why they're our champions. You see the dominating performance there. Fantastic work out of raDiEnt to kind of decoy user Ekko to stay alive for as long as possible. That meant they had to then fight the 5v4, but they were split on two different fronts. You know, the 80 carrying the support on one side of the wall, the other three were in a choke point on the other side of the wall, and KG4 collapsed perfectly working together as a team. Those Xayah feathers in that choke point doing so much damage, and boosted garbage himself. With their Sejuani ultimates locking everybody down. NUBBYBUB, so crucial in this Xayah, and she's huge now. 405 S3 completed.
I do have to, first I'm going to say, yes, Kelvin Grove did fantastic in that fight. They turned it around, they found the kills. But I also have to question, what were they even fighting there for?
Yeah.
Like, there's no objectives in the area. That was just pure greed. And fortunately for Kelvin Grove, they do not get punished for it. However, League of Yorick still looking for solo kills, this time onto raDiEnt, who will be able to back away. I feel as if, the Glacial Augment from BobbyShmurda had actually come through there. Maybe they could have found something. It was a very aggressive play from League of Yorick. I don't understand why the teams were fighting in that situation before. There was no dragon spawning in the near future. It was no towers really available to be taken. It just felt like they were fighting for the sake of it, which is fun for us. But earlier in the day with maybe some of the Division 2 teams, that would have made sense. I'm expecting a bit more intelligent decision-making coming from these teams.
Look, I mean, like Wakanda High School, they wouldn't fight over those things, so...
Did you just say Wakanda High School?
No, it's Hokkaido, isn't it? I don't know how to... What's the name of the high school?
I don't remember.
It's New Zealand. It's Hokkaido, right?
No, it's something else.
Or win.
Rangatoto.
Wrong Rangatoto.
Yeah, Rangatoto. Oh, Death Push! Snoopy walks into his death right there. Kelvin Grove waiting for the jungler on his own side of the map. Unfortunate play for Snoopy. Charm straight through the middle, misses as well. BobbyShmurda in a lot of trouble. He's getting chased down. Will be able to escape this time.
Yeah, burns a Spirit Rush though, so that will go on cooldown. A key one of those for Ahri is she's building towards that Twin Shadows next. Almost finish that item, and once those 2 items come through, the slows from her will be very nice, and Snoopy will help chase down and maybe get some picks. But 3 Ocean Dragons, the triple healing regen going over, so maybe Warmogs are not necessary because of the healing from the Ocean Dragon that the Sejuani will be getting.
Nah. Super Warmogs.
Super Warmogs.
Super Warmogs. That is like essentially double Warmogs right there. So pretty much after every single engage, unless Maroochydore brings the champion down, they should be able to have enough sustain and health regen that Kelvin Grove 4 actually don't need to reset. And this could be catastrophic for this Maroochydore team.
It also means they're going to sit here with like 8k gold because they just never need to back, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm like super far ahead in the game. I just walk through killing everybody.
Big root onto Kappa, and the hook from the Darius drags in too. A huge ultimate coming through from Sponkle as well. Kind of forces Boofycrackers in a bad situation. He's not getting out of this. 2 more kills found for KG4. League of Yorick though, looking for that solo, gets 2 of the marks down, but NUBBYBUB with the kiting stays alive. 3 kills for Kelvin Grove.
And that red buff healing and the Ocean Dragon on top of that, keeping him alive in that fight.
Oh no,
trust in Sponkle, baby.
Sponkle is looking so good on these engages, and with 4 members down on Maroochydore, they could be losing some of their base structures. Yeah. They get the 5th! BobbyShmurda pulled in, is on the run, but the Ignite comes down, and he will fall. raDiEnt getting the unofficial ace.
Yeah, well, just Brom spawning as BobbyShmurda went down, and looks like they're going to move straight to Baron here and pick up that next objective for themselves. Looking like a very Kelvin Grove 4 game, 11k gold, 22 minutes, with a stronger team fight, stronger comp. I think it's almost over here for Maroochydore, but there is still a potential way for them back into this game. League of Yorick, of course, on this Fiora, still scaling. And if she can maybe get those items before the game ends, potentially could turn it around, but it's going to be very difficult for Maroochydore.
Well, they need to pull off almost this miracle. Baron's still here, but it looks as if League of Yorick is distracted by the control ward. Stepping forward, they avoid the Ekko engage, but Baron's so low. They're looking for it. Here comes the play. It's quite low, and it's stolen! Boofycrackers from over the wall is able to take the Baron away, and that is going to buy more time for Maroochydore to get back in this.
And Boosted Garbage not smiting down the Baron, unfortunately, and it goes over to Maroochydore, and that's definitely something that's really good for them. With that inhibitor down, it allows them to buy time, means these minions are going to be harder to take down for KG4, and that'll delay the game by at least 3 or 4 minutes and give them some last fighting chance. Another chance for Fiora to get those items, another chance for Fiora to scale, and you know, potentially could even turn this game around. That's those moments that kind of cause that tilt, cause that moment of thought here. Boosted Garbage, they're picking up a giant spell just so that Warmogs is now online, so not wasting that 3k gold item anymore. But man, what a player to Boofycrackers.
That, I believe it was, yeah, that was a fantastic steal. I believe it may have been blind because you can see in the Baron Pit there's a control ward there from Kelvin Grove.
If you put a turret down, it gives you vision.
Yeah, okay, so the tower had a limited availability, but yeah, I was watching the Baron health slowly go down. Like, it was sitting on 300 health for a solid, like, half a second, which should be more than enough time for the smite to come through from Boosted Garbage. Overconfidence, I believe, on the jungler, wanting to save that Chilling Smite for the fight, perhaps, and that could be why it was able to be taken away. That said, advantage still very much in Kelvin Grove's favor. A quick, I think I need to sort of emphasize what that Baron buff is for those in the audience who might not understand. The Baron buff, killing that giant minion, gives your entire team essentially more lane presence. It gives stats buffs to all of the minions around you, which enables you to push the waves a bit more and sort of push the map towards your opponents. What had happened in that fight is Maroochydore took that buff out of Kelvin Grove's hands at the absolute last moment, and that's something KG4 could have used to end this game. So, huge pickup from Maroochydore. That steal was fantastic. Kudos to Boofycrackers on that one.
Yeah, kudos to Boofycrackers, but it's still not over. It's still 5-0.
Oh, Garbage going in for the flank. He goes over the wall looking for that back line. A huge free-man knock-up follow-up engage from Sponkle. And with that, they're able to sort of push Yorick away, bring down the league. An easy pick, and Garbage wants more. Flashing forward, trying to get to low XD. The follow-up damage isn't quite there, but Sponkle finds it. takes down this Braum. Under the tower we go, Aaeons taking a lot of abuse. Boofycrackers is his target, gets the guillotine down, finds one, looking for the second as well, but Shmurda will grab that. Here comes raDiEnt, able to take down Shmurda. There is an ace, and with 20-second death timers, Kelvin Grove 4 might find themselves some Nexus towers.
Yeah, I think they should even end the game here. A lot of time up before League Yorick come 10 seconds. I still don't think he can defend against, like, NUBBYBUB is the key carry. He'll just nuke these towers in, but man, trust in Sponkle pulling up big in that team fight.
Yeah, Sponkle looking huge. First Nexus tower does fall. It's that giant red crystal that will end the game, but League of Yorick is back up. He's on to Sponkle right now, who's just buying time for his team. Under the fountain he goes. Will that be enough? NUBBYBUB is wailing on that Nexus, but the Nexus is still alive and Bub has to retreat. Kelvin Grove 4 can't end it now. A huge taunt onto raDiEnt actually does not bring him down. raDiEnt barely able to escape. NUBBYBUB's the next target. An easy cut down from the League of Yorick. raDiEnt will get out of this, but the Nexus survives. Super Minions working on it right now. I don't see the Nexus going down, so Maroochydore, it's like a cat with 9 lives. They keep staying in this.
Why did Sponkle run into the next? They would have ended the game if Sponkle was there to use his shield to keep him alive. He's just like a little bit of overconfidence from KG4 maybe, not ending the game just yet, but only a matter of time until that happens. But Maroochydore are slowly coming back, right? You've got the side lane pressure. Triforce when it comes through for Fiora will mean she's a lot stronger, but man, interesting plays out move. And NUBBYBUB unfortunately unable to end that game with that Xayah passive. I feel like if Rakan was still alive and had what's the W on Xayah? Damn, I should know that. Anyways, the W from Xayah giving him bonus attack speed on both those two, because obviously one of the only supports that works with that win condition means that you'll be getting some extra attack speed. It means extra damage onto this Nexus, but it is still now exposed, and 2 open inhibitors. Mountain Dragon going down means they're doing a little bit of extra damage to these towers, and means KG4 are in the driver's seat to end this game.
Yeah, I feel one more team fight going Kelvin Grove's 4's way, and that will end this game, but they have to find that right fight. Maroochydore seems to be getting closer and closer with each engage. They have the crowd control. They're starting to get that damage. And with the builds we're seeing out of Kelvin Grove 4, it is very greedy, minus what we're seeing out of Boosted Garbage perhaps. But, I mean, raDiEnt opting for the death cap as opposed to anything with any defensive capabilities. The QSS has been taken by NUBBYBUB, so that's going to help them. I do think that's a good safe pick, and I still think Kelvin Grove wins this game, but it's going to be tight as raDiEnt's already looking for it right now. Boosted Garbage steps forward. He has the Glacial Prison available, but it has to hit the right target. Shield going down off of Lil Kappa could be an opening, but the target will be that inhibitor. Boosted Garbage tries to get to that backside. Charm goes through. A big Sponkle against KLX. 3 members of Maroochydore, and this is the fight that they want. League of Yorick goes in and falls. Snoopy in that front line. Can't do much. He falls as well. 3 members are down. The inhibitor's falling. The Nexus will be soon as well, as raDiEnt is looking for the Quadra. 1 away from the Penta. It's only Boofycrackers remaining. He's trying to do it again. There's the setup from Sponkle, and he gets the Penta kill to end the game. Kelvin Grove 4 remain your defending champions.
Yeah, KG4, they're taking down the Nexus. Great engage from Sponkle in that last fight. He's been playing excellently this Rakan, but the Penta kill could not be overshadowed here for raDiEnt on that Ekko, and they will just slowly take down this Nexus.
Yeah, it will fall down eventually. You know, the minions doing their job. Kelvin Grove 4, they were our state champions for a reason. It doesn't matter who is in that top lane. The synergy between Boosted Garbage and raDiEnt is still there. The engage from Sponkle is still there. And when this team starts to fire on all cylinders, they are so tough to beat.
Yeah, they are, obviously our state champions for a reason. You try to get in that game. Such strong synergy in that bot lane. I mean, fantastic plays across the map from both sides. And, unfortunately going down there, Maroochydore once again. But that, I believe, brings our day at the Ekka to the end. Of course, we have some final things to go through. For example, the MVP and ace from those games.
All right. I think MVP, despite the little bit of, overconfidence we saw towards the end, Sponkle's engages on that Rakan were phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Every single ultimate seemed to hit like 3 or 4 members of Maroochydore, always the critical ones, always enabling his team to get to the back line. So I think hands down Sponkle gets MVP.
I think trust in Sponkle. I mean, look, you would have to put a special shout out to raDiEnt, right? Got a pentakill in this game. You can't really
But he got it because of Sponkle.
But it was because of Sponkle.
Yeah.
So always trust in Sponkle. There's 3 certainties in League of Legends. Never chase Singe.
Yep.
Never fight a Yasuo.
Yep.
Trust in Sponkle.
Trust in Sponkle. Trust in Sponkle. That is what you have to do. Similarly, though, if we're going to go for our ace, a.k.a., the best player on the opposing team, I'm voting for Snoopy.
Yeah, I was going to say, it has to be Snoopy,
It has
right?
to be Snoopy.
He did so good in that early game, always getting in the right place at the right time, really trying to push his lead before Boosted Garbage came online. Unfortunately, the lanes just didn't go his way. I mean, he could have played a little bit better, played around the top side, and helped League of Yorick get a little bit further ahead. But I think, he definitely still played well. And I think Snoopy was, by far the best player on the Maroochydore side. So, unfortunately, that does bring our day at the Ekka to the end. But never fear, there are more games.
Yeah, that is very true. This is not our last day at the Ekka. If you are hoping, watching online and want to come and see this action live for yourself, we have an amazing setup. We will be here both days this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, from 10 to 4:35, something along those lines. And whenever the last game finishes. The last game starts at 3, so 10 to 4, I think, is the safest time to say. Feel free to come through and check us out. That said, also want to thank some of our sponsors for this event. Obviously, the University of Queensland and UQU Esports for helping put this event on. All of the high schools that participated, everyone who came here to watch, a huge thank you to you guys. Whenever we could hear that crowd going, definitely pumped up the adrenaline for us.
Oh, for sure.
It's been a true blast, and I can't wait to see everyone on Saturday.